Number 10. Your stomach eats itself. Picture this. You're lying in bed, stomach growling, and you think, wow, I'm hungry. What you don't think is, my stomach is currently trying to digest itself like some kind of flesh-eating Ouroboros. But that's exactly what happens. Your stomach produces hydrochloric acid, which is basically the same corrosive liquid you'd see bubbling in a cartoon mad scientist beaker. It's strong enough to dissolve razor blades, and it's just sloshing around in your gut every single day. So, why aren't you dead? Because your stomach cleverly lines itself with mucus. Think of it as a slimy, protective raincoat. Here's the disturbing catch. If that mucus lining ever gets thin or breaks down, the acid doesn't politely wait. Nope, it just starts munching on your stomach walls like they're a midnight snack. That's an ulcer. And you usually don't know you've got one until it feels like a demon is punching your ribs from the inside. Sometimes it even leads to internal bleeding, which you also don't notice right away until you see your bathroom looking like a crime scene. Basically, your stomach is a dangerous roommate with a chainsaw, and the only reason you're still alive is because it hasn't gotten bored of the wallpaper yet.
Number 9. Bone betrayal. Imagine carrying around a bag of cement your whole life. That's basically what your skeleton does. It's the ultimate support system, literally holding you together while you flop around doing TikTok dances and sitting hunched over a laptop for 8 hours a day. But here's the fun horror. Your bones don't stay loyal forever. As you age, they start betraying you in the most humiliating way possible. The calcium and minerals inside them slowly leak out, and your bones get brittle. That's osteoporosis, which sounds like a Greek villain, but is actually just your skeleton giving up. And the worst part? You don't notice until one day you trip over a cat toy and suddenly your wrist snaps like a breadstick. Even creepier, your bones are constantly being broken down and rebuilt every few years. Your skeleton today isn't even the same one you had 10 years ago. It's like your body keeps swapping parts without your permission. Imagine waking up and realizing someone replaced all your IKEA furniture with cheaper knockoffs. That's basically your bones after 40. So yeah, your skeleton is quietly crumbling behind the scenes, and you won't know until gravity decides to ruin your life.
Number 8. The silent heart attack. Here's a nightmare scenario. You're sitting on the couch watching TV, thinking everything's fine. And then, surprise, you're having a heart attack. And you don't even feel it. They're called silent heart attacks, and they happen more often than you'd think. Instead of the dramatic Hollywood clutching your chest scene, the symptoms can be things like a little nausea, some heartburn, or just feeling tired, which is terrifying because that's also how you feel after eating Taco Bell. The science is grim. When blood flow to your heart is blocked, it damages the muscle. But in a silent heart attack, your nerves don't scream out the way they should. The warning signs just sort of shrug. And you don't realize until later, maybe during a routine checkup, that your heart has already been scarred. Think about that. Your body can suffer catastrophic damage, and all it gives you is a burp and a shrug. Basically, your heart can betray you in stealth mode, like some kind of assassin, and you'll only find out once the damage is permanent. Sleep well tonight.
Number 7. Your brain can eat itself. You ever skip lunch and feel like your brain's turning to mush? Well, that's not just a vibe. Under the wrong circumstances, your brain literally starts snacking on itself. The science word for it is autophagy, which sounds like the name of a death metal band, but actually means self-eating. When your body doesn't get enough nutrients, your brain cells can start cannibalizing their own proteins to survive. It's like being so broke you start selling your furniture just to keep the lights on. And it doesn't only happen during starvation. Extreme stress, lack of sleep, and even some neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's trigger this process too. Over time, it chips away at your memory, focus, and cognitive abilities. Imagine trying to download a movie, but your computer deletes random files from the operating system just to make space. That's your brain during autophagy overload. The worst part? You don't notice it right away.
You just feel foggy, like you're walking through molasses, until eventually you realize the lights are dimming in a very permanent way. Basically, your brain is its own worst roommate. When things get tough, it'll start eating the furniture.
Number 6, sleep paralysis demons. So you're lying in bed, half asleep, and suddenly you can't move. Not a finger, not a toe. Then you notice the shadow in the corner. It's moving toward you. Congratulations! Your body is serving up one of its most horrifying hidden features, sleep paralysis. Here's the science. During REM sleep, your brain basically paralyzes your body so you don't act out your dreams and karate chop your nightstand. Sometimes, though, you wake up before the paralysis wears off. Your conscious mind is online, but your body is still on airplane mode. And because the human brain hates a sensory vacuum, it fills the silence with hallucinations. Creepy shadow people, hissing whispers, figures sitting on your chest. It's a greatest hits list of nightmare fuel. The kicker, it feels real. Your brain doesn't distinguish between dream monster and actual home intruder. And it happens to around 1 in 5 people at least once in their lives. So yeah, you might be one bad nap away from meeting the Hat Man. Sweet dreams.
Number 5, the forgotten cancer switch. Your cells are basically tiny employees who should clock in, do their job, and clock out. But sometimes they go rogue, and that's cancer. Creepy enough, right? But here's the disturbing truth. Your body already has the ability to make cancer cells, all the time. Every single day, your cells divide about 2 trillion times, and in that microscopic chaos, mutations sneak in. Most of the time, your immune system shows up like a strict boss and fires those freeloaders before they cause trouble. But here's the twist. The older you get, the lazier that system becomes. The boss stops checking in, and suddenly the office has 5 Jeffs microwaving fish at their desks, and nobody's doing the actual work. The terrifying part? You won't feel anything at first. Cancer doesn't arrive with sirens or pain. It's stealthy. By the time you notice, those rogue cells have already staged a corporate takeover, which means your body quietly rolls the dice every day on whether your cells stay loyal employees or start a violent coup. Number 4, the body's rust problem. Your body is basically a car you didn't ask for. And just like a car, it rusts. Except instead of metal, it's your cells. Scientists call it oxidative stress. It happens when oxygen molecules, the same stuff keeping you alive, decide to go rogue and turn into free radicals. And no, not the political kind. These little punks bounce around your body, damaging DNA, proteins, and cell membranes like drunk toddlers with hammers. Normally, your body has antioxidants to keep them in check. Think of antioxidants as the bouncers in a nightclub, kicking out rowdy free radicals before they smash the place up. But as you age, you start running low on bouncers. The radicals outnumber them, chaos ensues, and suddenly you're looking at accelerated aging, higher cancer risks, and degenerative diseases. The kicker, you don't notice it happening. You don't wake up one morning and go, "Ah, yes, I feel oxidized today." It creeps in slowly. Wrinkles, weaker organs, memory slip-ups. It's like your body is quietly rusting from the inside out, and you don't find out until something breaks. So yeah, next time you're worried about looking older, just remember, it's not just time aging you, it's invisible biological rust sanding you down from the inside. Number 3, your blood turns toxic. Everyone likes to think of blood as this magical red life juice. But here's the disturbing truth. It's also the perfect poison. If blood doesn't circulate properly, it starts breaking down. And when that happens, it gets toxic to your own body. For example,
If you get a major internal bleed, the trapped blood doesn't just hang out politely. It degrades, releasing iron and proteins that are straight up toxic to tissues. Your immune system panics, inflammation skyrockets, and nearby cells start dying. It's like spilling juice on your laptop. Everything shorts out fast. Even worse, infections can sneak into your bloodstream and cause sepsis, which is basically your immune system going full scorched earth. Your body attacks everything, including itself, and you can die in days, sometimes hours. And the symptoms at first? Just a fever, a little confusion, maybe a fast heartbeat. Basically the same signs you'd get after drinking one too many energy drinks. So yeah, the liquid keeping you alive can flip the script and poison you from the inside. Your blood is both your best friend and a potential horror movie villain, depending on the circumstances.
Number 2. The lung collapse lottery. Take a deep breath. Feels good, right? Now imagine one of your lungs suddenly decides, nah, I'm out, and just collapses like a deflated balloon. That's a spontaneous pneumothorax. And yes, it can happen to perfectly healthy people for no reason at all. Here's how it works. Tiny air blisters form on the surface of your lungs. Most of the time, they just sit there doing nothing. But once in a while, one bursts and air leaks into the space between your lung and chest wall. The result? Your lung folds up like a paper bag. You'll feel a sudden stabbing pain and shortness of breath. And if it's bad enough, your other lung has to pick up the slack like an overworked coworker. It gets better. This horror show strikes people randomly, often tall, skinny young adults who thought their biggest health concern was running out of pizza rolls. No warning, no trauma, just pop. Your lung checks out. And once you've had one collapse, you're at higher risk for another, because apparently your body loves sequels. Basically, your lungs are like unreliable roommates. They'll keep things running fine most of the time, but every once in a while, one of them might just move out in the middle of the night without leaving a note.
Number 1. The quiet aneurysm. Now let's end with a bang. Literally. An aneurysm is when a blood vessel wall weakens and balloons out like a cheap party decoration. And the worst part, you don't feel it happening. Your body hides it perfectly. You could be walking around with a ticking time bomb in your brain or aorta, and the first clue is when it bursts. When an aneurysm pops in the brain, it's often described as the worst headache of your life. Translation, your skull feels like it's being split open with a crowbar. In the aorta, your body's main blood highway, a rupture means catastrophic internal bleeding, and survival is basically a coin flip. The creepy part is that aneurysms can grow silently for years. No pain, no obvious symptoms, nothing. Just your blood vessels slowly turning into a balloon animal, until one day, snap. Imagine carrying around a live grenade in your chest and not knowing when it'll go off. That's the reality for thousands of people every year. So yeah, your body is full of secrets. And not the fun kind. More like the kind that wait in the shadows until it's too late. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.